Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Saita, just check. Recordings. Is my audio clear for everybody? Okay, the recording is fine. Right. We will take up questions. We will continue with the questions which we couldn't complete on Wednesday. So, the questioner Kannan, question is dealing with kids who are quarreling and getting angry. When you're dealing with kids who are quarreling and they are getting angry, if you advise how to deal with kids who are quarreling and they get angry when you advise them. I'm a wrong person to answer it because I don't have children. That doesn't mean that I don't experience quarrels. Any relationship there is quarrel. So how do you deal with children who are quarreling? And when you advise, they get angry. It is, our thumb rule for parenting is you should set an example and don't advise. He has not given that first statement. Is he setting an example? Anyway, so getting angry. It is, see, one is not just children. I thought let's deal with anger as such. It is, in any relationship, there is this potential of anger, either between a parent and a child, between spouses, between a manager and the subordinate, or between friends as well. There could be anger. The question is, one is, there are quarrels, there is anger, and when you try to advise them, the anger multiplies. Especially there are times when you try to advise them, if the children means, they will tell the parents, can you please zip up? Either they will please zip up, or it's okay. We know, we don't need any advice from you. Some kind of a thing will happen. Or if it is between husband and a wife, you are advising? Really? You think you can advise? The kind of so the anger multiplies. So let's discuss anger per se. Anger is basically an expression of helplessness. Anger is an expression of helplessness. The feeling I am not in control of the situation expresses itself as anger. The feeling, the thought that I am not in control of the situation manifests as anger. Anger, if you observe, is a result and effect of your inability to deal with a situation. Anger is nothing but is a signal. It's your inability to handle a situation. Please understand that anger is not born out of the deficiency in others, but it is born out of your inadequacy to deal with a situation. Anger is not a result of deficiency or an issue with another person, but it is your inability to deal with a situation. If you are careful, you will understand that anger is more a message, a signal to you than to the other. Anger, if you are cautious, anger, you will consider anger as more as a message, as a caution to you than to the other. I mean, it is, you can never become angry without a desire being interrupted. Period. If you are getting angry, right now you're getting angry with me or whatever, anyone, some desire has to get interrupted. Without your desire getting interrupted, there cannot be an anger. Some desire is getting interrupted. Now you ask for a coffee, it is not yet come, the lecture has started, and this fellow also ask everybody to put on the camera, you can't get up and come. Suddenly some people, the camera will be off, only the sound will come. I know coffee is down. They have not yet muted the mic. The sound is there. Especially the coffee is nice, the sound is little more stereophonic. Anger, as I mentioned, arises only. Please make a note. This will save a lot of time and will bring a lot of anger is a result of some desire interrupted. Has to be some desire interrupted. From ridiculous thing like while taking a shower. I know this fellow, while taking a shower, he is using that the bath soap that falls down. He gets angry with the soap. Idiot! What happened? No, the soap. The soap is supposed to be soapy. That's the reason. It falls down while taking the shower. The desire not to bend and take. Anger. The desire is, why should I bend and take? Therefore, there are all the companies, they get shower gel. You don't need to bend. One press. There are some specimens that also falls down. So, anger. Anger is a result of some desire interrupted. That's why, next time when you're angry, Naveen Kabra is just entering, I'm angry. Why is he coming so late? Where is he? Become aware of your anger. Become aware of your anger. The only way to reduce anger is becoming aware of your anger. If you know that I am angry, then the next stage is become aware of the futility of anger. Become aware of the futility of anger. You can see, after all the anger, you have to do what you have to do. It could be coffee where the sugar is less. With after all the argument, do you think your partner is going to go, sorry, I think there was less sugar, let me come and add some sugar to You go. After all the argument, you have to go, get extra spoon of sugar and put it in your thing. Rather, while drinking itself, no sugar. If you are aware of the futility of anger, you are wearing the Apple Watch, another 20 steps added on to your walking. That's all. Understand, become aware of your anger, become aware of the futility of your anger, become aware that nobody, including you, benefits from anger. Become aware that nobody, including you, benefits from anger. Again, become aware that everybody, including you, loses a lot because of anger. So the suggestion is burn anger before it burns you. Burn anger before it burns you. Lord Buddha used to give various episodes on anger. He said anger is like holding a ball of fire in your hand and throwing it on Steel King. I'm having a ball of fire on my hand and throwing it on Steel King. The steel may melt. Along with that, in the process I burn my hands. That's right. See, it is the only way to deal with anger is to become more aware of it. That's why the only way, in case you have to deal with anger, my guru used to tell me, he says, at times you may have to deal with anger. The best way to deal is you may have to use your anger at times, but never lose your anger. You may have to use your anger at times as just an expression, but never lose your anger. Fascinating, friends. In fact, many of the relationships falters is because of anger. In fact, they say in the Gita, I think in chapter 5, towards the last, he says, if you can't control anger, you cannot be a yogi. He's a yogi who is one who has perfect control over their emotions. I mean, in the present scenario, even last week we discussed a bhakta's quality. One of the 35 qualities is that he is a yogi. Whatever they do, whatever they don't do, is designed to unite with the divinity. Where is that, and what is our understanding of yogi? Tree pose. If you start doing that one leg pose, you are a yogi. Can you imagine? Or either one mala you put on, I don't know what all they do. Yogi. A yogi is one, all their actions, thoughts, emotions, actions are designed to unite with the divinity. That is a yogi. And Lord Krishna in the Gita says, it is those who have a perfect control over their emotions, especially anger. He is a perfect yogi, says Krishna in chapter 5. So, that's why dealing with children, dealing with adults, any aspect, friends, people hurt you because of their immaturity. You get hurt because of your immaturity. People hurt you because of their immaturity. And you get hurt because of your immaturity. And you can continue getting hurt. It just heightens or enhances your immaturity. See, was Christ immature in dealing with those who nailed him to the cross? Was Christ immature? And the forgiveness was flowing from his personality. Others hurt him because of their immaturity. Christ was powerful enough to deal with it, or spiritually wise enough to deal with it. So, to go through it, anger is an expression of helplessness. The feeling I am not in control of the situation expresses itself as anger. Anger is a result and effect of your inability to deal with the situation. Anger is not born out of the deficiency in others, but it is born out of your inefficiency to deal with the situation. Friends, this is important. Anger is more a message to you than to another. Always, you go for a morning walk and there's somebody with a dog walking, and then you do something like this and the dog starts barking at you for the next 10 minutes. And somebody tells something to you, you are barking for the next 20 minutes. What should I call you? I don't even want your answer. Somebody tells you something. What happened? Venuji, you seem to have put on weight. See, he's laughing. Or somebody tells, Karen, you have put on weight. She'll be very pleased. It is somebody tells you something and you bark for the next 20 minutes. What should I call you? You're going for a walk and somebody, it could be, and then you do something to the dog and that dog is barking 15 minutes. One gesture can affect you. That's why I say, become aware of your anger. There has to be some desire which is interrupted. Become aware of the desire. Become aware of the futility of your anger. Become aware that nobody, including you, benefits from anger. Become aware that everybody, including you, gets affected because of your anger. Please burn anger before it burns you. You have no idea. As I mentioned, we always use that statement. Speak when you're angry. You'll make the greatest speech you'll ever regret. Speak when you're angry. You'll make the greatest speech you'll ever regret. Anger has caused more damage to relationships than any other emotion. So, the only suggestion as far as anger is, or two suggestions: identify the disruption to an anger, to a desire. Some desire is interrupted, therefore there is anger. Therefore, you want to deal with anger, deal with the desire which is interrupted. And the second aspect is, at times you may have to use your anger, but never lose your anger. When you lose your anger, you've lost yourself. For you to collect yourself takes some time. You could be in a meeting, you've lost your anger with a subordinate, you're sitting there, 20 minutes you can't focus because you lost your temper. You used your temper just as an expression. Understand? Look here, these reports should be on my table by 12 noon tomorrow. As is an expression. It is, you're using it. And you're in a meeting, you're perfectly okay. And they say anger creates an acid in your system. And any acid which is in a container, it destroys the container. That's the reason, friends, anyone whose emotions are not right, look at their face after a certain time. After a certain years. And at the same time, you look at a person who has all the pure emotions. That's why in Sanskrit they call us stages. Spiritual luster. There is a person with very less desires is childlike. There's a smile natural smile in their face. You need Botox and all kinds of treatments if you have anger and other things. You need enough and more treatments. So, watch out, friends. When I saw that question of an anger, dealing with children, anger is not just dealing with children. When it comes to children, what do you expect? Children, you did the same thing when at that age. If you are very wise at that age and you are such a Buddha at that age, then something you can talk about. You are worse than your children at that age. And then these kids are terrible. Same thing your parents told about you. Same thing they told about you. In fact, little worse. They've been refined enough not to expose certain things. I remember when my mother used to call me baby. Bidda. Bidda means baby. One saying, Sarita, where is the baby? Sarita said, no, which baby you're talking about? No, my baby. He said, this baby? She said, yeah. So, it is interesting. That's why I'm saying, therefore, anger, understand, you get hurt. If you are getting hurt, it's because of your immaturity. Others hurt you because of their immaturity. It is only due to one person's maturity you can deal with others. And there's a beautiful ways to deal with it. One of the phenomenal ways is suggested by a great saint. Is that so? Is that so? Somebody tells you how much we tease Arjun Reddy. Poor fellow. Gets it from me every time. And Venuji. Don't know. They have this attitude, is that so? That's the reason they are able to survive with me. Otherwise, so, that's why anger is more a message to you than to another. There is some inability in me. There is some desire which is interrupted. And anger, that's when I become aware of the futility of anger. Please become aware of the futility of anger. A few moments of calmness will save years of peace. Something you tell at a certain stage to a relative or something, next 5 years you have to suffer. That moment of anger, you are able to, I am not saying suppress your anger. That is not what I am talking about. Please, do not suppress any emotion. It will come up at a very inappropriate time and you will destroy a lot more. Deal with it. Deal with it. Understand, become aware of your anger, become aware of the futility of your anger, become aware that everybody, including you, loses many things because of anger. Burn anger before it burns you. So watch out. Never. Could be children, could be spouse, could be parents. I mean, many a time it is, it is your tone which creates all the mess. Could be between a parent and a child. It's a tone. And anger manifests in an ugly tone. Ugly tone. Where there is kindness and compassion, the tone itself is different. How a mother calls a little child? With anger? It is the tone. The tone has done a great deal of damage when there is anger. So watch out, friends. When I saw just children, it is affecting everybody at every stage in life. As I always say, anger has not changed. What you become angry for has changed. Anger has not changed. When you're 5 years old, you got angry for a toy. 10 years old, you got angry for a bicycle. 50 or 20 years old, you're angry for a friend. Now I don't know what all you're angry for. So anger has not changed. What you become angry is changing. Now, if you are not careful, it will not leave you. That's why I say before it burns you, burn anger. Just has anybody become better because of anger? There's an example. Anger is like holding a ball of fire in your hand and throwing it at another person. You can hurt another person. In the process, you've burnt your hand. So, watch out. Watch out. It's not worth it. Anger is never worth it. Next question is from, again, Kandan. How to overcome sadness due to the loss of a loved one? I did discuss that before. Any sadness is due of when you lose a loved one. There is sadness. I am not disputing it. There is sadness. But the sadness is multiplied when the attachment is stronger and the dependency is maximum. Suffering is magnified when the attachment is stronger and the dependency on that source is maximum. Any relationship where there is only the mind, when I say only the mind, the likes and dislikes, mere emotions, impulses, where there is catering, pampering, which multiplies your dependency, will create havoc when it is no more available to you. Because you are dependent on that source for pleasure, for financial aspects or various other aspects. Now that source is blocked. What do? You suffer. We are not children, friends. We're not children. Children which suffers is different. Even children, they try to become self-sufficient. That's why in life we have to try and become self-sufficient. You are allowed to cherish a relationship. You're not allowed to get attached to any relationship. Therefore, the only way to deal with relationships are gratitude and reverence. When your gratitude and reverence to that source is far greater than your dependency towards that source, even when that source is forcefully taken away from you, you will still be able to handle yourself better. But how many of us are developing gratitude and reverence? You may have respect for them, but do you have the genuine gratitude and reverence? As a result, you could be dependent, but something could be taken away. But at that point of time, that's why I always say your gratitude and reverence must be far greater than your dependency and attachment. Otherwise, if see, you may be grateful in words. In words, I'm not saying you are not. You're all ungrateful. I'm not. That's not what I'm driving home here. You could be grateful, but it could be just words. Then it's just a thought. It is not a reverential feeling you have. Once you have that, you will cherish their presence. And for some reasons, they are no more. That source is no more available. You will not get. You will affectation will be there, but you will deal with it gracefully. You'll deal with it in the way you have to deal with it. Otherwise, the suffering is unending, because it's like, there was a source, now it's blocked, now it's no more available to you. Now if you don't have another source available to you, you will suffer, and you'll continue to suffer. That's why you need learning. Weekly satsang. Keep learning. All of us have relationships, but let us not become dependent on any source for our happiness and pleasure. It is one source, but we are not. You should not become dependent. Even in the financial aspects, they say have multiple avenues of income. If only one source of income, now you lost your job and you can't deal with it. They say don't put all eggs in one basket. When I say multiple source, that's all I can say. Even if it is a rich father-in-law, multiple source. Whatever it is, multiple source you have. Only dependent on one source, how difficult it is. So sadness you can overcome when you lose a loved one, when the gratitude and reverence is far more than your dependency. And if it is only any relationship you've got into, you've made yourself only dependent, the moment it's taken away, it's a sudden vacuum, sudden that emptiness, and you can't deal with that emptiness. That's why I say regular intake of knowledge. While going through that experience, develop reverence for that source. Slowly become little more self-sufficient. Through knowledge and through your own efforts, become little more self-sufficient and deal with it. And when you start dealing with it, you will deal with it in a much better way. You will cherish their presence. And when they are no more, you are grateful for the time they spent with you. And you will be much... That is the only way of dealing with it, especially in the present pandemic times, the COVID times. Almost everyone has known somebody they've lost. Somebody, a near and dear, or a friend, or somebody. Now, how do you deal with it? See, when you expect eventuality, you're a pessimist. When you're prepared for it, you're a philosopher. When I say prepared for it, nobody can be really prepared. But the grandeur of gratitude and reverence, you have no idea how it works. How it works. That's why I always make this statement: gratitude and disturbance can never coexist. If you're disturbed, you're not grateful enough. If you're grateful enough, you can't be disturbed. If you're grateful enough, that statement is there, right? I had no shoes and complained until I met a man who had no feet. When you're grateful enough, suddenly you see, hair is not growing here, but here, lot it's growing. I don't go for a haircut, but I go for a shave all the time. That is there. I have a friend, a relative. Happened to some family get together on Zoom. I was not aware. I said, Shreyas, why are you wearing a mask? It was his beard. It is the teeth also was not. The beard was throughout. I was joking with him. So think about it. Therefore, again, become aware of your attachment. Become aware of your attachment. Then things might improve. Next, questioner is Raghu Bai. Relevance of Shraddha Karma, rituals after death. What is the relevance from a Dvaita standpoint of Shraddha Karma from the Advaitic standpoint? It's an interesting question. See, it is from the Advaita standpoint, it has the Shraddha, meaning the rituals you perform for a departed one. After they've been after their time is over and they've been buried, there are various rituals which is performed for the departed person. And it has from Advaita meaning non-dualistic approach to divinity. It has a great relevance to in an individual's life. It is in this aspect is you become aware, you appreciate, and you pursue the values the left behind by that person. That's the reason the first year, every month you perform the ritual. Now it could be food, it could be various aspects you prepare, and there is a prayer, a ritual performed to the departed soul. And the idea is they had an impact on the family, on the group of people, and the next person, the next in turn to take over their position is suggested to emulate that qualities, that hard work, that dignity, that grandeur with which they lived their life. That therefore once after that, the first 12, 13 days they do it. Then once a month they do it as a reminder. You do it as a reminder. You do once a month for a period of 1 year as a reminder. You inculcate all those qualities with reverence, with gratitude, with absolute dedication to the impact they made in your family. That's the reason first 30 days in a different rituals, then once a month you do it. Then the suggestion is you have imbibed those values. You have taken in fully, and then it is after that 1 year, where every month you do once a month. After that, once a year you do is as a reminder, and you do it all your life. It's a reverence you offer for the departed soul, for the impact they had in your life. And if you ask me, it's very important, not for the departed soul, for you, because it's a reminder to uphold those values. They had lived a certain quality of life, and now you got to take it to the next level, emulating or pursuing certain qualities they had or they left behind. So if you ask me, you should pursue it. Our Raghubai lost his father, lost a near one, so you have to do that. And it's a tradition which is followed. It's almost like a Guru Sishya Parampara. It is followed. So you take in, and that's why the first 13 days, and then once a month for the first year, then once a year. If you can celebrate your birthdays and anniversaries, you should also celebrate the life of a person who lived and contributed to your well-being. It does a great deal of good to you. For the departed soul, they have departed. We don't know what's happening to them. For it does. See, you are carrying forward that tradition, that value systems, that impact. So maybe by doing it, the next generation improves on it. The further generation improves on it. It is if you miss out on it, it's not right. It is just an ego, and I don't believe in it. If you don't believe in value systems, what can we tell you? This is not. See, most of the rituals has an impact, has a significance, a meaning. All that I'm trying to tell you is identify what the meaning is, relevance is, and pursue it. Pursue it. That's why do you celebrate birthdays, anniversaries? There are some people who celebrate anniversaries. At least today, let us not fight. 360 days we are fighting. 364 days we fight. At least one day we will not fight. That is the wedding anniversary. So, but these kind of rituals, Shraddha Karma, is a tradition. It's a tradition which has been upheld for generations, and it should be done as an offering, not as a mechanical ritual. Not as a mechanical ritual. If the moment it becomes a mechanical ritual, it loses its significance. You will forget it. But it's an offering. You're offering your gratitude, your reverence to that departed soul. That's all I'm saying. And you emulate that quality. It's a reminder. with much less, they were much more happier. Can I be like that? Something, some quality you can emulate. Where is that? And to argue, I don't believe in all that. I tell you are giving into a lot of frustrations in life. It will not help. Next, the questioner is Raghubai, you're okay? I hope he's okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Next question is Bimlaji, our favorite. I can't understand why one cannot forget and forgive. I don't understand why one cannot forget and forgive. Some people say I can forget, but I cannot forgive. Is it ego that comes in between? Why they can't forgive is the question. I wish it was that easy. Forget. Many people say forget and forgive. Why it is difficult? Why? And some people say I can forget, but I cannot forgive. Is it ego that comes in between? Why we cannot forgive? Bimlaji, let's understand. Forgiveness is an effect. It's not a cause. It's not a cause. That's why forgiveness is an effect. You got to put in the cause for experiencing this emotion called forgiveness. Forgiveness, I wish forgiveness was an effect, and I wish forgiveness was effortless. Like breathing. Some people, breathing also is difficult. Oxygen levels are low, especially we in India have faced it enough and more. Breathing itself is difficult. Forgiveness. That's why they said, I think it was Mahatma Gandhi who said, forgiveness is an attribute of the strong. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is an attribute of the strong. The weak can never forgive. Between Christ and those who nailed Christ to the cross, who's powerful? Those who nailed Christ to the cross, or Christ who even after being nailed, his words were, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. Who's powerful? So forgiveness is enormous power. Enormous power, and this power nobody can take it away from you, but it is an effect of your spiritual alignment. It is only through spiritual growth you experience forgiveness, not through any other ways. Therefore, to experience forgiveness, when I say which is an effect, the cause is kindness, is compassion, is identification, is love. If you do not experience these emotions in its purest form, kindness, compassion, identification, love, you cannot experience forgiveness. There are people who say, I'm trying to forgive this person for such a long time. I find it very difficult. Why? Because you do not have kindness. You lack compassion. You have not developed identification and love. How can you experience forgiveness? Was it an effort for Christ to forgive? Effortless. See, when you have all these qualities, forgiveness becomes an effortless effect. It was not that he was thinking, now I think it's time I should forgive these people. No. It is not that when everybody was there, he was mentioning that to himself. Father, forgive them. It's incredible. So, therefore, why they can't forgive? Because they have not developed these emotions. Why they have not developed these emotions? Predominantly self-centered, selfish emotions. What can I get out of others? They have not been unselfish. They have not served enough. They have not identified, felt for others. How can you forgive? We always say, forgiveness is to set the prisoner free and to finally understand that the prisoner was none other than yourself. You forgive not for anyone else, but to safeguard your peace. It's incredible. That's why you cannot plan forgiveness, friends. None of us can plan forgiveness. You can only plan or work towards developing love. When I say love, it's not for another person. No, that's identification. That's why compassion, kindness. Do we have that? See, find one person who's kind, compassionate, and loving, and they say, "I find it very difficult to forgive." They say forgiveness is a fruit a tree gives when a stone is thrown at it. Forgiveness is a fruit a tree gives when a stone is thrown at it. No tree is waiting. Let me wait. Somebody throws a stone, then I will shed that fruit. And the most famous definition of forgiveness by Mark Twain. Forgiveness is a fragrance a violet releases as the foot crushes it. One of the most profound definitions of forgiveness. I don't know what zone he must be when he wrote that. Forgiveness is a fragrance, a violet. Violet is a flower. Forgiveness is a fragrance a violet releases as the foot crushes it. You could be crushed. What releases from you is forgiveness. Where is that? It's an epitome of emotion. It's an epitome of purest emotion. So, a person who's self-centered, selfish, who lacks spiritual alignment cannot experience this. Because that's their life. What can I get out of it when there is anger, frustration, jealousy, fear, insecurity? How can you experience forgiveness? When you have love, compassion, kindness, oneness, forgiveness is an effortless effect. And finally, if you're sane enough, you'll understand. Forgiveness is the only choice. And let me tell you, forget forgiving others. It is much more difficult to forgive yourself. You have done something, you know you have done something. To forgive yourself, it's so difficult. That's why I say, when you let go of the hatred towards others, you can forgive others. When you let go of the guilt you have created towards yourself, then you can forgive yourself. You cannot have hatred towards others and try to forgive. Therefore, when you let go of the hatred towards others, you can forgive others. When you let go of the guilt you have created towards yourself, you can forgive yourself. The guilt, how did I do it? Why didn't I? You keep on continuing with the guilt, you can't forgive. That was my maturity at that point of time. What can I do? That was my maturity. Or that was how immature I was at that point of time. Let go of the guilt. You'll be able to forgive yourself. Let go of the hatred. You'll forgive others. And forgiveness is an attribute of the strong. The weak can never forgive. The weak can never forgive. So watch out, friends. Watch out. Why I'm repeating this, forgiveness is to set the prisoner free and to finally understand that the prisoner was none other than yourself. So who are you setting free? Yourself. And who was a prisoner before? Yourself. Prisoner or being in the prison or experiencing freedom is your choice. You have no wonder. Look at the epitome of emotions and where we are. Anger, jealousy, or fear, insecurity, like an animal. So watch out, friends. That's not the way to live life. That's never the way to live life. You got to live with certain dignity. Okay. Next, Ramji. Bimlaji, you're okay? Okay. It takes a while. I am not expecting, thank you very much. Now that I have the information, next day I can forgive. No, it takes a while. It takes quite a while. See, when you forgive, there's a smile. See, you can smile at them, not like laughing at them. They can't see you. I'm saying they will be very, very afraid or ashamed to see you because they have done something. You're changed. Ramji, question is, you hang on to the last thread of hope. How to be strong even at that stage? You hold on to the last thread of hope. Can we be strong at that stage in life where you're holding on to the last thread of hope? My question is, what other choice you have? What other choice you have? You have to hold on to the last iota of hope. The moment the mind comes in, it disrupts the process. I don't think this is working. I'm saying, it is. Therefore, one of these, when this happens, you're holding on to the last thread of hope. Can I be more strong? This where, no. It's not easy, but quieten the mind. When a lecture is happening, you could be listening to the lecture, a kid comes and plays, you say, shh, I'm listening to something. Tell your mind, shh, I'm holding on to the last thread of hope. Don't topple me now. Don't topple me now. I'm holding on to the last thread of hope. Some of the greatest achievements or accomplishments was possible because they were holding on to. See, when I say hope, it is not a blind thing. It is, when I say hope, you put in your 110% effort here. In simple terms, very strong willpower. Very strong willpower. Willpower is the potential to will against the 99 things which pushes you away from your chosen path, and the discipline to adhere to that one action you have designed to take. Willpower. See, a person with a strong willpower has a capacity to say no to that which takes them away from the focus. Willpower. Gracefully they say no. You're holding on to the last thread of hope. That's why it is. See that even with a strong willpower, you will have a strong beliefs in the process. A very poor willpower, your beliefs are not strong enough to hold on to the last thread of hope. It is you're holding up, but there is. See, it's almost 9,000 lectures now. What is the impact you have done? Nothing. It is but the willpower that this knowledge will help anyone and everyone. Anyone and everyone. The belief is so strong. The belief is so strong. It's not 41 people are there. It's not a question of number of people. But the belief in this process is so strong. You have a music concert, 4,000 people. You highlight, you discuss on forgiveness or anger, 40 people. It's not the number, but all that I'm saying is the belief in this knowledge, in this wisdom is so strong. It cannot topple us. It doesn't matter. Could be 4. That is how it is. So you trust the method, you trust the process, and you keep doing your best all the time. Even if falters, you have that satisfaction that you have done your part to your best. You have done your part to the best. That strength will come. And slowly things will start happening in your way. So never miss out on that process. Hold on. When I say hold on, not with a defeated attitude. Hold on strongly. Hold on strongly. Then you see the difference. They say some of the greatest discoveries were done in the car sheds. If you say Google was started in a car shed, and everything is like some shed only they started. Now you see swanky offices. You hold on to that belief that one day this will do well. So, once you lose hope, it means you are giving up. It is you. The moment you lose hope, you'll give up. It is therefore that resilience. You could be knocked down 10 times. The 11th time you stand up and still face it. Resilience. Resilience. So, willpower, resilience, a strong belief system, all those things helps you to hold on. When I say it's not holding on, it is firmly grasping that thread of hope and keep doing it and keep doing it. One day it will hit. One day it will happen. Even if it doesn't happen, you are like a scientist who lived your life. Somebody will take from where you have left and they will take it further. So none of your efforts will go for a waste. It will be further carried on gloriously. So stick to it. My suggestion is stick to it. Never miss out on that. Next question. Ramya ji. What does it mean not to lean on your own understanding? What does it mean not to lean? Lean, not to lean on your own understanding. I don't know where she got that statement. Somebody makes a statement, I have to explain that. Can you imagine? Not to lean on your own understanding. What does it mean? See, many a time, what your understanding may not be complete, may not be right. So, based on your understanding, you may form a choice, a judgment, which could lead to further misunderstanding, further complication. When we say don't lean on your own understanding, understand that what you understand may not be the real aspect, may not be reality. That's why it is essential that you use your intellect, or use a borrowed intellect, a wiser intellect, and in analyzing, understanding the facts, and then coming to a proper conclusion. Don't lean on your own understanding means just don't make big decisions based on your own understanding, because your understanding could be faulty. Is your understanding the reality? Is your understanding the final aspects? Are you an authority? See, there are many parents who decide what their children should pursue. The first son should become a doctor, the second should become an engineer, the third should become useless like me. It is the father decides. Don't lean on your own understanding. It is, you may, what you think, one engineer, doctor and all, it is, it's nice, but are they inclined to it? What you think as, is that the reality they should pursue? So, whatever you have understood could be a mere projection of your mind, may be wrong. So, it is, don't make big choices based on your understanding alone. Bhagavan Balani to refer to the quote of the chicken and D. I don't understand what it is. Anyway, so don't lean on your understanding means don't depend only on your knowledge. Please stay there. When it comes to others' decision and if you do consult, expand your mind. Don't take decisions merely based on it. Collect facts. Even keep chicken and duckling. Okay. Anyway, I'm a vegetarian, so the chicken and all, I don't know what story you're suggesting. So one of them will take it up. Chicken and duckling. You're talking about the pond poem. You're talking about the pond. Anyway, so don't depend on your own understanding. Yes, okay, right. Good. It's a good suggestion. The pond. Now what, Mr. What a name you have, sir. Bhagwan. Very difficult to get angry. Bhagwan and a good way to gain respect. Bhagwan. So whatever answer should be right. It's coming from Bhagwan. So the Bhagwan ji is right in suggesting a poem called Pond. There's a the ducks are playing in the pond, and the chicken which looks at the ducks playing in the pond tells the mother chicken, it tells the mother, it says, I see all these ducks are playing in the pond, and then I want to play there in the water. And to which the mother says, look here, you can't go inside. And to which the chicken says, I'm remarkably fond of water. I'm really remarkably fond of water. Their beaks are pointed and my beaks are round. Is that any reason I'll be drowned? Says the chicken. It sees the ducks playing in the pond. It wants to play in the pond, in the water. It says, I'm really remarkably fond of water. And it reasons itself. It looks at the ducks. Their beaks are pointed and my beaks are round. Is that any reason I'll be drowned? That's no reason you'll be drowned. And it jumped into the water. It splashed and dashed and heartily wished it could be safe, but literally sank to the bottom and died. All that the pond poem says is, it was unmindful of a parent. It was unmindful of a parent. Parent here is scriptural injunction. So it's a good suggestion, Bhagwan ji. What a name here. Thank you. It is forced to respect and all you get. Bhagwan. Anyway, good. So, not to lean on your understanding. Next question. Righteous living. Explain righteous living and righteous duty, dharma. What is righteous living and righteous dharma, duty? Righteous living is pertains to all aspects of your life. You're fulfilling all obligations. It refers to all roles of your life. Righteous dharma generally is a reference to a particular role of your life. Dharma has various meaning. In Sanskrit, the meaning is pertaining to the context. It's contextual. It cannot have one particular meaning all the time. Dharma, it is the dharma of a sugar is its sweetness. Dharma of fire is heat. Dharma of a flower is its fragrance. What is and they say your dharma is the divinity in you. It is, that's why they say dharma. And in a way it is linked. Righteous living and righteous duty, dharma, is linked. Righteous living is more common. It pertains to all aspects of your life. You are living a righteous life, provided you are whatever roles you have taken up, you are done your best in all roles of your life. Whatever roles you have taken up, as an employee or an employer, as a spouse, as a parent, as a son or a daughter, as a sibling, as a social person or a citizen, you have done your best in all aspects of your life. That is righteous living. Righteous living. And here righteous duty is, the duty normally is pertaining to a particular role of your life. You're a parent. What is your duty as a parent? We discussed on the other day. Your duty as a parent is to lead, is to set an example and not to sermonize. Is to set an example and not advise. But the first question was, when I advise my children, they get angry. Because you don't you don't set an example and keep on advising. So the duty, that's the primary duty you have as a parent. The secondary duty is education, holidays, gadgets, and all other things. Secondary duty is all those things. But that's why we always say succeed in the primary duty. And if you can do, to some extent well in the secondary duty, you're okay. But succeed in the primary duty. Lead the way all the time and don't sermonize. Even if you have to say something, don't do it. It's okay. Don't do it. So, righteous duty is that. I'm just talking about one. Duty is pertaining to a role in life. Righteous living is all roles of life. You have done your best. That's why the Upanishad says there is a certain sense of fulfillment in life. So, righteous living. And if you pursue righteous duty, righteous dharma in every role, you experience righteous living. That's the connection here. Without performing righteous dharma in every role, you cannot experience righteous living. So, righteous dharma in every role is essential. That's why I say, do your duty. Karyam karma karotiyaha sa sannyasi sa yogi cha, says Krishna in chapter 6. Do your obligatory duties to your best and leave it at that. And leave it at that. It's a phenomenal quality. So, think about it. So, and then there's another question also. What is the difference between knowledge and wisdom? Knowledge in this context is the information you have gathered. Wisdom is the whatever information you have taken in, you are reflected, contemplated, digested, and you're living it. You have reflected, contemplated, digested, and living it. So that is, wisdom is you are wiser by it. Knowledge is you know about banking, you know about Bitcoin, you know about cryptocurrency, you know about stem cells, you know about COVID issues, you know about spirituality. On a Friday evening, on a dinner time, you know what? Anger. Or the spirituality, you may talk about it on a dinner table, it's wow, fantastic. It is... so it's just information which may not help you, may help others. You are talking about it and in a dinner and someone else hears it and my God, how profound it is, and they implement it, they become wiser. You are still the same. That's why they say we are all great philosophers as long as the problem is someone else. You're all great philosophers as long as the problem is someone else. Moment it hits you, you falter. Because you have not internalized it. Between knowledge and wisdom, the bridge is responsibility. When you take in some knowledge, you also bring in that responsibility to internalize what you have heard and what you have heard and understood to implement in your life, and as a result, it is no more a piece of knowledge, it is a part of yourself, it has become a part of your DNA now. That is wisdom. That is wisdom. Therefore, don't be content with knowledge. Never stop until you gain that wisdom. It is, it is not easy. It's not easy, but it's not difficult also. It needs a sense of responsibility in you, a sense of effort in you. So they say, God helps who help themselves. So are you putting in effort? Are you putting in effort? Is the question. Otherwise, it's a piece of knowledge you have, which will help up to a point. Nice conversation. People, we may impress others. You know yoga and you also know some nice mantras. Oh, wow. So nice the chanting. But ask the meaning. Meaning is there. That takes a little more time to explain and you get away. So, that's the reason we have the question answer session. Think about it. Knowledge and wisdom. Don't be stuck with mere knowledge, which is information. Wisdom is you're living it. Knowledge is you have it. You know about it. It's like, you know about Taj Mahal, but wisdom, you've been there and experienced it. It's so different. Experiencing Taj Mahal is different, and knowing about Taj Mahal is different. So it's still a piece of information. Once you go there and experience it, it's very different. It's about anger. One is to know, we discuss so much about anger, so much about forgiveness. One is to make notes, to become aware of it and to discuss with others. Another is to internalize it, understand it, implement it. The next time anger, that impulse comes. Somebody tells, you smile at that impulse. Unwanted visitor. It's like that statement. No? Anger knocked on the door. Kindness answered, nobody here. Anger knocked on the door. Kindness answered, nobody here. Next time, it is wisdom is, you're aware of that. You're aware of the futility of pursuing your anger. I had enough of that trouble. See, unwanted visitor, sorry. Let's say the anger knocked on the door. Kindness replied, nobody here. So, that is wisdom. That is wisdom. And as a result, you may see, the best thing is, wisdom is, you're growing in your own eyes. You don't need someone else to tell. Kalavati, you are such a wise person. You don't need someone else to tell. When you are growing on your own eyes, and the worst thing is to fall in your own eyes. You don't need another person to tell, hey, you made a blunder. You don't need someone else to tell. You know it. The best thing is to grow in your own eyes. You don't need someone else's confirmation. How much we tease Venuji. You have no idea. One of the healthiest fellow we have in the group. Nobody needs to tell him incidentally, 60, 65 or 67, I don't know what his age is. So, nobody needs to tell him, Venuji, you are a very healthy person. He knows. If he stands in front of a mirror, he knows. So, the best thing is to grow in your own eyes, and the worst thing is to fall in your own eyes. If only you can, wisdom is you're growing in your own eyes. The need for validation, confirmation, attestation all goes away. That's wisdom. That's wisdom. In fact, that is self-sufficiency. That's self-sufficiency. Knowledge is your information hunter. What did this Swami tell? What did that Swami tell? You are collecting all information about forgiveness. Now you are so confused. How to forgive? This person says this way, that person says that way. And then, better to get angry, easy. It is unnecessarily. 7 Swamis say 7 ways. Better. I don't know which one is right. No, it's okay. Information hunters, mere knowledge. Wisdom is, you've taken it, you're like a blotting paper. You've taken and internalized it. And then, even when you forgive, you're not telling others. You're not telling others, Kannan, I forgive you. That is knowledge. If I have knowledge, I will say, Kannan, I forgive you. He will turn around and say, who on heaven are you to forgive me? Anger mind multiplies. I am forgiving you. That also, you are rebelling. When there is wisdom, it's an attitude. Your forgiveness is an attitude. It's not words. It's not spoken sentences, friends. It's an attitude. Forgiveness attitude. It was not that Christ sent a message to all. See, all of you here, I am forgiving. He's not. It's an attitude he had. So, think about it. The next week onwards, we'll continue with our Bhagavad Gita session, the 35 qualities of a Bhakta. Because we had these questions, I thought I didn't want to miss out on these questions. So, we can by next Wednesday, it'll be dragging too much. I might forget the questions. That's why I thought I'll finish it off. So, we have completed the question. I don't think there's any more questions now. Otherwise, I would have taken up more questions. So, We have that, the July 16th is our Guru Purnima lecture, Creator's Note. I just give it, if the Creator sent a note to each one of us, what would he say? What would he share with all of us? That's the gist, or that's the idea behind that Guru Purnima. It's an opportunity where it's once a year we offer our reverence and gratitude to the great lineage of masters, yogis and rishis. It is an opportunity because they contributed in such immense ways for our spiritual growth. Once a year, we celebrate Guru Purnima, and it actually is July 24th, but we're doing it on July 16th. We want to prepone everything. Anything good, we want to do it before, not all together. Much before we try and do it. So July 16th, the invitation was shared with all of you, I guess. Register for that. It's on YouTube, it's not on Zoom. It is on YouTube. Share that with your friends as well so that more people can get benefited. And yes, that's the thing. So we'll continue with the Tuesday learning from legends, and next Wednesday is another topic. I think I don't know what the topic we have shared on the monthly planner. You must be having. I hope you all receive the monthly planner of the events. Anybody doesn't receive it, please share your name and your number on the chat option here. We will add and we'll share the monthly planner, the details, so that you can plan your monthly planner of our lectures. So you will get all the details, the topics, and what we are entire month we plan and share. So you can type your number and name. We will add you to the broadcast list. We'll get all the details. So thank you all for your time, for your presence. Really appreciate your effort. And I'll see you Tuesday morning. Tomorrow is tomorrow, yes, and I'll make a note of your number, Bhagwanji. Tomorrow is the young adult session for the children about 10. Don't tell you're also about 10. It is for 10 to 16. Okay. You said about 10, therefore I attended 10 to 16. If you fall under that category, most welcome. Or if you have anyone who is keen on it, do expose them to this knowledge, which is essential knowledge. So, thank you all. I'll see you Tuesday morning. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Namaskaram, Andre. Thank
Namaskaram.
you.
Namaskaram. Hari Om Ashu. Hari Om. Nandri.
Hari Om, my humble pranam.
Hari Om.
My humble pranam.
I got it.
Namah Shivaya, sir.
Namah Shivaya, Raghubai. Nandri.
Thank you so much, Guruji, for your great efforts. Thank you so much.
Anytime for you, yeah, anytime. Arjun Reddy.
Thank you, Guruji, for your speech on angerness control. This is the first time I'm having this chat. Through my colleague, I got the chance.
Okay.
I'm very happy to go through this.
A colleague.
I'm eagerly waiting for the next Wednesday to join again.
Okay. Now, where are you from, Hariharan?
I am basically from Chennai, but I'm based in Andhra Pradesh.
You got it from your colleague?
Yeah, Mr. Mohan Raj.
Mohan Raj, okay.
Yeah, I was a little bit in frustration and more in frustration. But I want to gather information how to control the angerness. But the very first topic itself, I am surprised to which topic I would like to hear, the same topic you started. Very nice.
Welcome. I hope the anger has subsided.
Yes.
It doesn't give you reasons to get more angry. Anyway.
But the topics of which you have covered and that more are related and more required for me too.
For you?
Yeah. Hope all my friends have started ask the question which I was supposed to ask.
Okay. Okay, Ji. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank
Welcome.
you. Thanks for your time.
Welcome. Namaste. I'm going to end the session.